Now it's time to mirror our half skeleton over to the left side. There are many ways to mirror joints inside Messiah. The first way is to look inside the Multiply Items block in the File tab. You can also go into Setup, and underneath the pull-down menu at the top, select Copy, and it's available in there. The shortcut key for mirror is the divide key on the keypad. We'll zoom in, move up, middle mouse click and highlight clavicle R, and everything underneath clavicle R needs to be mirrored. So use the divide key on the keypad to mirror them across. Let's go down a bit. We'll middle mouse click on the bone here, onto the leg. But we don't need to mirror this leg across. We need to mirror its parent, which is leg R, which we've hidden in the last lesson. Use the divide key to mirror that across. Go down to the bottom, middle mouse click on IK foot right, and we need to mirror that across. Everything that's been mirrored inside Messiah has been appended with an _1. Messiah adds numbers to anything that has been copied or mirrored. It's up to you to change the names of them. In this case, we need to change all of the R_1s to L's for the left side. We can double click on each of these and name them to L manually, but we can use Messiah's tools to do that for us. Go to the Select Items, and we're going to select all of the left side. In this case, it's easy. Since we copied everything over to the left side, they've all been appended with an R_1. Click on the blank button to the far right, and it will select everything with an R_1, which just happens to be our left side. Go back to the pull-down menu, and we're going to select the Rename Item block, and we're going to replace all of our R_1s with L. Set the search to be Selected Items, and click on the Replace button. That was fairly easy, wasn't it? Now, one out-of-the-way thing we need to do is set up the muscle bones for the back, which we didn't do before. The goals on the muscle bones would have mirrored across as well if we'd have activated these on the left side before we mirrored. So go to the Bone tab, and we're going to activate the Muscle Bone option. We're going to set the target for this muscle bone to be back 2. You can watch it pop slightly to the origin of back 2. It also turns blue. Select back muscle R, do the exact same thing. Select back 2 as the target. There's one more thing we need to do when we mirror the bones across, so we need to mirror the constraints across as well. In the Command tab, we created all of the constraints only for the right side, and it shows up here in the variable list as just the right side. There's an option in Messiah for copying variables, and from there it's just a matter of search and replace. So we'll start at the top under Nate IK Align Foot R. We'll copy that one, and the new copy is R_1. So just double click and edit all of those to L. Change all of the variable arguments to L. When you hit enter, it activates, and if you've done something wrong, it will highlight red. In this case, we forgot to add a comma, so after the L, we'll tap a comma and it comes in. Go down the list, we'll copy the next expression, change the toe R_1 to toe L, and change the expression to match that with an L. Now this expression has an extra option added to it. It's feeding data into a channel on another bone. In this case it's toes R, the heading channel. So go to the Channels tab, and we'll see that toes R is highlighted, and just go down and select toes L. Now it's feeding into the proper channels on the right bone. Go down the list more, go back to the Variables tab, copy, change the R_1 version to an L. Change all of the arguments to each object from R to L. Tap Enter, and you should see the expression go active. Copy the next one, R_1 to L. Change the expressions to match. L, L. Copy, R_1 to L. Repeat. Copy, L, repeat. And we're done. All of these expressions should be mirrored across accordingly. So when we grab the tip of all the left side and pitch them up and down, the fingers should operate just like we did on the right side. Now the variables list looks very cluttered right now. We've just started adding variables and making them work, but we haven't done any organization. What's neat about the variables list is it functions exactly like the items list. You can parent variables to each other. We'll create a new variable, and we're going to call this one Nate_exp for expressions. I'll shift select everything else, and we'll parent that to the expressions variable here, which remains empty. So now we can shut down the expressions so we can have a clean list, and we can also deactivate all of the expressions at once. Let's do a little more organizing. We have all of the fingers sitting in the expression as well. So we'll create a new variable. We'll call this one NateFingersExp. Leave that one empty. Leave that one empty and shift select all of the other variables and parent them to Nate_fingers. So now we can just shut down the fingers, or we can debug the fingers without having to look at anything else. It's very organized that way. Go to File. We're going to save this scene as NateSetupD.fxs.